Hi everyone and welcome to vocal lockdown lesson number 6. This week I'm going to show you exercises to help you eliminate the vocal break. The vocal break occurs at a point when you're transitioning between vocal registers, usually between the chest and the head voice. And sometimes what happens is the voice can get to a point where there's a bit of tension and strain. You know, you're reaching a slightly higher part of your range and then your voice sort of flips over, changes tone or maybe breaks, becomes very thin, slightly more breathy. So I'm going to show you transition exercises, or what they call passaggio exercises in classical terms, but we're contemporary singers, so I call them transition exercises to help you eliminate the break in your vocal registers. The vocal break occurs when there is an imbalance of airflow, too much pressure to the vocal cords, and also lack of muscle coordination. I also feel that singing is 90% psychological. So sometimes singers tend to think of the high note that's approaching and then panic about it. And then what happens is your voice tenses up, your body goes into fight or flight mode. So we need to be nice and relaxed when we tackle phrases where there's transitions to allow our muscles to be as reactive as possible. I'm going to show you the first exercise. It's called the lip trill exercise. The first exercise we're going to try together is called the lip trill. Now, it is the most stereotypical exercise that singers like to use, but it is one of the most effective exercises if you want to eliminate the vocal break. And the reason being is you have a consistent airflow throughout your range. I'll give you an example. Let's start off, first of all, with a lip trill slide, and we're going to move in semitones. So I'm going to give you the first note, E for ladies, and gentlemen can sing the octave down. Okay, I'll demonstrate. Try it with me after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you cannot achieve the lip trill or you're breaking up, try it first of all by simply just putting your fingers at the corner of your mouth and just sort of blowing like that. I know I look daft, right? But nobody else is looking apart from you, so. Okay, so try and practice that first of all with a sustained amount of breath. Okay, and then add the tone. And then try the tone slide. If at any point the trill breaks, it means that you're not getting the adequate amount of breath to continue the phrase, okay? So you're not over pushing like that. And you're not holding your breath either, because that means that the trill will stop. So this is why it's a really effective exercise for adequate airflow. So let's try that together. We're going to start in the key of, I'm playing an A major chord, and we're going to move in semitones. And this isn't about volume either. I always say this in all of the exercises we do. Watch the volume. So speech level singing, you're not belting. I'll give you the first 2 exercises and then you're on your own. Okay, so let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, on your own. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, The second exercise is an extension on the first lip trill exercise. You're going to sing a major and minor arpeggio. Sounds like this. Okay, making sure as well that your abdominal area, and if you've checked out previous exercises that I've posted about breath support, it's really important that you make sure your abdominal area is nice and loose. You're not breathing too tight around the chest and creating tension and pressure around here. So if you do this exercise and you still have a lot of tension and pressure, just maybe check out the first video that I posted on warm-ups, and then the video that I posted on breath support as well, and then you'll get a more effective exercise and your voice will be more reactive. So I'm going to do the first two exercises with you and then leave you on your own. Okay? Keep your tongue nice and relaxed as well, that really helps. Nice and flat behind the bottom teeth if you can. Alright? 1, 2, 3, 4. Same volume all the way. 3, 4. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. And if you want to continue on, if you feel a little bit more comfortable, if you're at piano, we finished on D major. You would be moving up to D sharp and continuing, okay? Sometimes when we articulate a particular vowel shape between registers, I'll give you an example on A shape. Ah. I'll do that again. Ah. You could hear the flip. So as I moved towards the top part of my range, my voice flipped. It's tended to sound very breathy, very thin. And there's a number of things that happened there. So basically I was pushing, there was too much pressure, I was pushing the air through my vocal folds, my vocal cords, and my vocal cords were separating. So they were not meeting in the way they should be to produce sound. Also, I wasn't concentrating on resonance. Resonance, you would have heard me talk about in many, many videos before this one. Resonance is basically what happens when you create a sound. You feel the vibration in your mask, in your chest, in your body. So I wasn't concentrating on where that tone was being placed. I couldn't feel the resonance, I couldn't feel the vibration. So too much pressure pushing the vocal cords apart, and I couldn't feel the vibration. And also psychologically I was thinking, that's a high note, I'm heading towards a high note, so I could feel tension in my neck and my shoulders. So you want to reduce the tension in your neck and shoulders as much as possible. Now, I'm going to show you a consonant to vowel exercise to help you get your vocal cords to meet together, produce a fuller, thicker sound. So we're building up the interior muscles of the vocal tract without tension or strain. And also remember, when you do these exercises, try and do them in front of a mirror so you can check again for where your tension might be in your shoulders. Make sure that you're nice and balanced, that your spine is aligned, and you're breathing down deep into your abdominal area. So let's get going. Third and final exercise. This exercise, we are using the consonant G to start off with. And the reason why we are using that particular consonant is it will help to bring our vocal cords together. The other thing is, and I'm going to demonstrate this exercise as well, is make sure when you get to the A slide, we're using an A vowel shape descending when we get to the top. When you use the A slide, do not push the volume. When you start to push the volume, it means there's too much pressure and tension to the vocal cords and your voice will break. I'll give you a demonstration like this. Go, 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 go. going to demonstrate the push. Ah! Now you could hear I had no control over that ah sound at all. Ah! And again, when my voice broke the second time. So volume, control your volume, and then try not to push too much air at the top. And you're also feeling for resonance on your ah shape, particularly. If you can't feel the resonance or the vibration, put your hand on your chest or put your hand on your mask. We call it the mask, or not your mouth. Ah, and you can feel the vibration in your fingertips. Okay, hope that's, I'm talking too much, so let's get cracking into the exercise. So I'm going to give you the first exercise I'll do with you, moving in semitone increments. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Go, 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 ah. Good. Remembering to keep your tongue flat behind your teeth, your lower teeth. Okay, next one. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Go, 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 ah. Okay, on your own. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, and. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, and. Watch your volume, breath into your abdominals, and. Good, 2 more. 2, 3, 2, 2, and. Last one.